I'm Kimberly and I'm an addict. So this is kind of big for me this week, especially because I've been in my sober house for almost 2.5 months now on a grant. And I've been, like sitting back and, oh, God's got me, and not trying so much for a job, putting restrictions on myself, saying I can't do this and I can't do that, and I'm not going to work fast food because I have PTSD, and I'm scared to have all these people behind me and people in front of me and things going so fast. And now I realize, my house manager's like, I can't even stand up for you because when your time comes to, whether you're kicked out or not because your grant's up, I can't even say that you tried. And I'm like sitting there, well, like, but then I'm thinking, a couple days later, I'm thinking, Kimberly, you're just not even trying hard enough. How do you know? You haven't worked in 20-something years. How do you know that you can't do that job? How do you know? So, I'm like thinking, I'm taking it from God. I'm not leaving it with Him because I'm not even putting my foot in there to move forward to try and get this job, any job, because a lot of us in sobriety houses, eventually you have to have a job to stay there. And I love my house and I want to stay there, and I'm not putting myself fully into what life has saved me for. God has saved me to be here for a reason. Years, 30 years in using and dying and coming back and everything. I'm still here, so why can't I do that? And yesterday I went to Sonic and they were like, we're not hiring until March, but they gave me an interview and I'm like, oh, I got so dejected. And then I saw the Whataburger right next door and I'm like, friend, turn into that. I put an application at that Whataburger. Let's turn in there real quick. And so I think God was just, pointing me that direction. And I walked in there as an older lady, like my age, said, she was a training manager, and she's like, hey, how you doing? Da da da. And she's like, girl, I said, I just need a job. I said, I've worked anything, anytime. She's like, well, we're really short on nighttime. I said, girl, I don't care what it is. I really, really need a job, and I'm willing to work, hard for y'all. And she's like, you look, she said, let me take a minute. She's like, you look good, you sound good, you're energetic. She said, you're perfect. She said, I'm glad you're not a young. And I'm like, I laughed at that. She's like, and there was an older white lady working there, and there was this Mexican lady working there, and I spoke to both of them, and they were really nice. And she's like, girl, before I left, she's like, girl, you got a job. Just come back tomorrow at 3, which will be today. And she said, I'll tell my manager that he's going to ask me who I want to hire, and I want you. So I was so relieved. So I've got a job, and I'm so excited. Thank you. And I'm just like, it's like, I put it in God's hands again. I'm like, I put myself forward, and I said, well, I can do this, and I let God do His part, and there we went. So I believe that was, God telling me turn into that Whataburger yesterday, because I let go of my will and let His will be done to lead me to where I needed to go. Thanks. I'm Kimberly. I'm sharing. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks.